Hey everyone, Anthony here, PG2 Podcast. I don't even know where to begin with Warner Media. Wow. I just figured I'd throw this video up real quick on it. As I watch Zack Snyder Justice League for going on my seventh time. Why have I watched it so much? I don't know if I'm considering on keeping HBO Max and stuff. I know some people like don't cancel it. I originally signed up for HBO Max to support the Zack Snyder Justice League back in like November or whatnot. Seeing Wonder Woman 84 was just an added perk for me to get it. And that added perk of Wonder Woman 84 was a goddamn disaster. Probably one of the worst movies I've seen in a long time. My wife was watching it with me. I'm like, come on, you got to watch this comic book movie. You'll like this, because she watches some of them with me sometimes. And then I had the kids watching, and they were begging 1 hour in if we could just turn it off, because it was just that cheesy, corny. Nothing about that Wonder Woman was powerful. I've done a review on this before. Just a horrible Superman 3. It's almost an exact copy of Superman 3. And it's almost an exact copy of Superman 4. And if you like Batman and Robin with George Clooney, you'll like Wonder Woman 84. Is the vast majority of comic book readers reading that stuff? No. No. You don't hear a lot of people saying, you know what good comic book there is? There's this one where there isn't. The most talked about comics are the ones that are the dark ones in DC's comic lineup. So you're talking like Injustice or the Miller's Dark Knight Returns. These are the comics that we would like to see on the big screen, and is pretty much exactly accurate to what I like to see. The transfer to a movie is comic accurate with the Zack Snyder's Justice League. Sorry, I had somebody come in here real quick. But yeah, it was almost comic accurate with Zack Snyder's Justice League. Starting off with everything that you're seeing in it to be in the dark part. Is it violent? Yes. The reason why it's getting like a rated R, I think it's because it shows like a darker blood. I don't know. Because you'll see violence in Marvel movies, especially like Winter Soldier, Captain America 2, and they're not getting a rated R. It starts off, I'm a Marvel fan as well. So it starts off with violence and everything else. Does he curse in it? Yes. But Warner Media and Warner Brothers all together, it's just a shit show. It really is. This goes back to the 70s with Superman 2 with the Donner cut. And they kicked Richard Donner off from working on Superman because they thought it was too dark. So that's why you hear about the Donner cut, which came out to us to see, I believe, in 2006. That's where we got the Donner cut. Then they brought Lester on to do Superman 2, which he added in the comedy tones. Then they went with Lester again with Superman 3, and it was a shit show, pretty much what Jenkins just released in WW84. This is off the top of my head. I'm not like a huge history buff on it, but this is pretty much on top of my head. Excuse me. So then you have Superman 4, and it was so bad that it shelved Superman for 20 years. Okay, this is WB. So then Batman comes out with Keaton, and everyone liked it. Everyone pretty much says that's a very good standard of a Batman movie. And WB greenlit a second one with Tim Burton and Michael Keaton. And then if you go back, I want you to look at the history of this stuff. They were really mad that McDonald's and the toys weren't making a lot of business because it was too dark. And you're like, you watch that movie now, you're like, this is too dark. So WB was really pissed off with Burton's Catwoman that everyone loved, right? I was a kid growing up during this time. I had no problems with this movie. You see these other kids my age during that time, this movie's scary. Bunch of wimps. I wonder what those kids are doing today. Crocheting. What the hell are you talking about? The movie was too scary. So that put such a bad thing with WB and Burton, that Burton pretty much said, I'm not making this a comedy shit show. And they wanted him to lighten it up so much. And that's why in Batman Forever, you do not see Burton there. You do not see Keaton there. And you do not see Michelle Pfeiffer there either, because they didn't even want the Catwoman. This is WB. I mean, how could you continue to support this company and give them money going forward if they do this to Snyder? I'm not saying not to do it yet, but at some point, the stuff has to stop, right? And Batman Forever was there. It was horrendous. Not horrendous. That one was decent. I mean, Batman and Robin was horrendous. I mean, Batman had Amex credit card, the Bat card. Then he also was dancing at a disco, pretty much in the light. It was daytime. Horrible. And then Batman Forever, it started. Batman 3, let's say. With Val Kilmer. You're talking all the guns in that one. You can see right off the bat, Warner Brothers said, you got to put neon lights on a gun. It serves no fucking purpose whatsoever, but you're going to put these neon lights on the gun, and it's just going to be there for toys. And you'll see it, and you're like, man, this is just right off the bat. Like, I don't know. Some people, like Kevin Smith, said that he might have enjoyed the movies. I can't ride with that, man. It's just corny. Unless it has a purpose. Like, Marvel will find some kind of purpose to make this shit colorful. Just slapping a neon colored thing on the gun, you turn me off. There's no fucking reason for the gun to have a neon light on it. And then, the villains in the movie, it could have been darker in Batman Forever. And you'll see parts where WB cut out, and you watch some of the Joel Schumacher cut, and he wanted to go darker. WB said no. And one of the scenes that they cut out, and you can see this on YouTube, is Val Kilmer, Bruce Wayne, walks into a cave and he finds his dad's diary. And in the diary, it said, like, Bruce insisted we go to the movies tonight. And you're just like, oh, like, that's the whole freaking purpose on why, Bruce Wayne can't live with himself knowing that he insisted to go to the movies and his parents died, and that's why he has a cycle running through his head. But no, WB said, you can't put that in. We need more comedy and goofball slapstick bullshit. So then that pretty much shelved Batman for almost 8 to 10 years, right? Till Nolan's Batman came out. And that was good. But apparently Nolan was having the same fucking problem with WB. The same fucking problem. So everyone likes those movies that do. He had the same problem. So then, during that time, WB fucking releases Superman Returns with Brandon Routh. And he looked the part. He was a good Superman. The script was bullshit. As soon as I seen the commercials for that movie or trailers, this movie's going to suck. The year's like 2006 or 7 or whatever it was. You have Lex Luthor in it again. We already been and seen that fucking villain. And that's going to be the main villain again. I don't know, if you read DC Comics and you see the size of this universe, just like with Marvel, this is what they chose to do, is go this route with fucking Lex Luthor again. And Superman, they said no violence. None. Zero. So that's why you don't see Superman fight anything. The plane scene was awesome. He fights nothing. So that's what's hard about, like, a lot of people that don't like Superman. The hard part with Superman is that pretty much unbeatable. And how do you make him conflicted without making it cheesy? Right? Because we already been down the road where Superman has been cheesy. Half the movies he's ever been in has been cheesy. That's where Nolan, I think WB was looking for a new director for this new Man of Steel movie. And there's other history with the Superman Lives stuff. Go check that documentary out and how WB fucked that whole movie up too. It never got made. So then WB had Nolan help find a director. This is, again, I'm not just going off the top of my head and hit record. I just want to give a history lesson because I'm watching this movie again, Zack Snyder Justice League. And Nolan helped pick Zack Snyder. So all you Nolan fans out there in DC, Nolan knows that Snyder's vision was awesome. Not only that, Nolan helped write this vision. I mean, produce it and stuff. So Man of Steel was out, got a lot of heat because for the first time in the movies, because it happens in the comics, Superman, well, it actually happened in the movies too. So all these fucking morons that think that Superman never killed anybody in the movie, he killed Zod before. What do you think happened when he pushed him off the fucking cliff when he had no powers? I mean, come on. Wake the hell up. My kids watch that movie like, oh, he just killed those guys. Yeah, he did. Those people didn't live. And so did Lois Lane. She pushed them off too. They just killed them. They didn't live. But, so Superman kills Zod, where Zod is a freaking maniac. There is no turning him off from stopping killing somebody. And how could Superman just maybe throw him out in space and hope that he doesn't land on another planet and fucking destroy it? So he had to do what he had to do because Zod was a war machine. That was what he was bred for, literally, on Krypton. So people gave Snyder heat for that. I fucking love the movie. My kids love the movie. Everyone fucking I know in my circle of friends love that movie. Nothing wrong with that movie. It didn't make $1 billion for WB. So this is WB again. Pissed off, right? So then from there, they made BVS. And you have to understand that Snyder is not somebody that'll just show you something. He tells a story, which is he's an awesome storyteller. Did see it on the big screen, right? So he's telling the story about how conflicted Batman and Superman are. And what if there was a Superman and would the humans accept him? Fuck no. We can't even accept each other. So that's how realistic the film is, right? I know people got pissed off with the Martha scene, and I was too. I was one of those people, like, what the hell? The more I watch it, and losing a parent, if somebody I was in the middle of a fight and somebody was asking me, like, saying the word Pete, which is my father's name, I would stop. Like, what do you mean? Why would you say that? Who's Pete? What do you talk about? It would just throw you off for a second. And I think watching it now, I'm like, yeah, that doesn't fucking make sense to me, at least. And I'm not mad at it. And then people never really understood. And, both Superman and Batman's mothers were named Martha. So, again, WB came in and fucked with Snyder's movie, like WB fucked with Nolan's, like WB fucked with Burton's, like WB fucked with Schumacher's, like WB fucked with Richard Donner's. They fucked with every single one of the directors. They fucked with Batman versus Superman so much that you don't understand some of the parts if you're not an avid comic book reader. And then when they add that extra 20 minutes to half an hour or whatever into the movie in the Ultimate Edition, you're like, holy shit. This fucking movie is amazing. Thanks, WB, for fucking it up again. So then what happened from there is Zack got right into filming Justice League. And a lot of this is actually spelled out in Sean O'Connell's book. It's actually really good to release the Snyder Cut. So they got right into filming Justice League. And I guess they wanted Zack to keep it under 2 hours. There is no fucking way you are going to, at this point, WB, and this is why it matters. Why are you comparing Marvel? Why are people? Because WB is watching everything fucking Marvel does. So that's why they weren't happy with Marvel, Man of Steel, or BVS, is because they didn't break $1 billion individually. So Marvel was breaking $1 billion on some of the movies. Different market though. For that could be marketed to kids and younger kids, where DC as a comic as a whole, they're not. It's really, the enjoyable ones that people like have that darker tone to it without being campy, right? So Justice League was being filmed, and unfortunately we had a tragedy with Zack Snyder. I can't even imagine, what he had to go through with losing a daughter. And Zack said that he was conflicted with WB because they were still giving him so much crap that he just walked away. He couldn't, and I understand. So then, WB picks Joss Whedon to come on. Now, from what I was hearing and stuff, WB was bringing on other writers and directors and having them on the set sometimes. And almost like trying to walk on Zack Snyder's toes. Now remember, WB has done this with every fucking successful Batman or Superman, any of the movies with the other directors. WB has done this shit. Marvel is not doing this shit. right? Marvel is not, say what you want to say about Disney Plus and Kevin and Marvel, they're not doing this shit. All right. And this is possibly why Keaton's walking away from The Flash. He's looking at this shit and saying, are you fucking kidding me? This is why I walked away from the Batman and Batman Returns to begin with Burton. He said it wasn't dark, it was too dark, and it was, you want to go cheesy and campy. I don't want to fucking be a part of that shit. So I wouldn't doubt that Keaton's walking away from The Flash at this point because WB wants to go in a cheesy, campy way. But yeah, so Joss Whedon's brought in, and the amount of disrespect that guy had was he knows everything that happened with Zack, and from a person with some kind of integrity, if to sit there and just say, you know what, I'm not doing that to Zack. He filmed all this work because we'd most likely seen all of it, and said, no, I'm going to redo all this. We're going to throw in comedy stuff. Fuck Zack Snyder, and we're going to do this, which is messed up, right? So Joss comes in, does all that, has all types of fucking problems on the set that even Jason Momoa backed up with Ray Fisher's claims of racial issues on the set from Joss, with Wonder Woman, with Gal Gadot making her do scenes that were uncalled for, and doing sexual things and like just unbelievable shit Joss Whedon was doing, man. He got away with it with the Avengers and Ultron. They weren't really putting up with that shit with these characters in DC, because you gotta remind yourself, the fucking film Zack was making was basically finished. So these actors knew what the fucking set, what the movie was gonna be like during this time, and now they're being called back on to fucking reshoot for Joss Whedon as a paying customer / fan, because WB CEO, for some fucking reason, thinks that a fan is not a paying customer. So for the paying customer / fan like myself, we were seeing the trailers for the Justice League back in 2016 and 17, right? So we were seeing the trailers and we had expectations because it looked so good from Zack Snyder's stuff that he filmed. So when you sat through the movie, you wanted to throw your fucking popcorn and soda at the screen when you're in the movie theater, because everything that WB did, they fucking lied, and they should have repaid everybody back their money. They said that the only thing that Joss Whedon did was retouch 10% of the film. 90% was filmed from Zack, and that Joss only refilmed 10%. It was a fucking lie. The fact is that Joss Whedon redid 100%, meaning he played a role in color coding and sounds, everything from the movie. 100% of it is not Zack Snyder's, the 2017. The 2021 is 100% Zack Snyder. The 2017, the filming that was shot, like scenes with movement on it that Zack shot, was probably less than 5 to 10%. So the rest of that shit bag of movie from Justice League is a piece of shit. And WB has the nerve to say that's canon. The movie bombed. I think it made $96 million in its opening weekend. That is a pile of shit. And that's all WB. WB did that. From that point on, WB then released Birds of Prey. Not too good. Suicide Squad was released. And again, WB fucked David Ayer and meddled in his work, cutting out all the Joker scenes because it was too dark and they want to make it campy and funny. And the fucking movie didn't do good. So there is an Ayer cut out there. I would love to see it. I can't believe that WB would do that shit. And then this movie finally, if you read the release that Snyder Cut, or look it up if you want. But the fans knew that Zack Snyder had a cut that was not that piece of shit from 2017. The paying customers knew that that was not the movie. And they all deserved a refund for WB lying. So WB messed with Donner, WB messed with Burton, WB messed with Schumacher, WB fucking messed with Nolan, WB fucking messed with Ayer, WB's now messing with Zack Snyder. And at some point, I think DC movies should be sold away from WB. don't give them the time of day because they have no fucking idea what they're doing. Think about even Jeff Johns, right? He was involved with the Justice League stuff from 2017. If this Zack Snyder's Justice League was released as the version in 2017, think about all the spin-offs with The Batman with Ben Affleck, Deathstroke, maybe a solo Joker movie. The Atom would have been out. Jeff Johns' involvement in that, we're talking billions upon billions upon billions in lost revenue. Because since this Justice League 2017 was released, they really haven't had a fucking hit. You know, they had Aquaman, I'm trying to think, and Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman 84 was a bomb. It's a piece of shit. You know, so I don't know what direction Warner Brothers is going in or Warner Media, but my suggestion is if you are a paying customer, hold off until we find out if they're going to finish this movie, which the WB CEO called the fans toxic. She also called the fans a problem and said that Zack Snyder finished his 3-film trilogy, lying to the fans. She should be removed from her fucking job. Lying to the fans. So, that is not true. We all knew from day one Zack was coming in on a 5-film movie. That's where he's going to have Justice League 2 and 3. He did Man of Steel and BVS. So she lies to everybody and says that he got his wish, that he got 3 films done. Not fucking true. That there, as being a shareholder too, the shareholders should say, I'm dumping this stock for you being a fucking liar. That you have no vision for this fucking company. So, things where, you know, they keep making the comparisons with, you know, they're watching what Marvel's doing, and she even said that she's watching what Marvel's doing. That's the direction they want to go. Marvel's like 20-something fucking movies ahead of you. You know, it took them like 8 to 10 years to have a Thanos trilogy, saga, Infinity War saga. The fucking DCU is nowhere near that if they shut off the Snyderverse. It's fucking nowhere near that. They're starting over again. And as you see it, they're making the Matt Reeves, the Batman. Here's WB again. Reboot. Reboot Batman. Reboot Penguin. Reboot Catwoman. Reboot Riddler. No new villains. And maybe one, I think, is in that movie. And then they're rebooting Superman again. So, you know, WB has absolutely no direction whatsoever. And I'm not excited for any of it. Like the James Gunn Suicide Squad's coming out. I give really 2 shits about it. And I'm a James Gunn fan, but after he kind of threw Snyder and every other director that had issues with WB under the bus, he recently said, "Oh, it was a pleasure to work with WB." I doubt it, you know. And the things that WB does, you know, to their directors. So then they threw Snyder on the bus. They let him release the movie on a Thursday night, and then in March, and King Kong versus Godzilla is coming out like 12, 14 days later, less than that. You know, they purposely do this shit. As the release for Snyder Cut is coming out, they're doing a new Superman. You know, it's just like they purposely want, and like the CEO of WB said, or Warner Media, they want it to fail. They're done with it. So where do we go? I'm not paying for any other fucking WB DC movie unless we get to finish this. So unless it's finished, I'm not paying again. So hopefully there's a movement behind that, because, and there's nothing wrong with that. A paying customer should be able to get their movie made, what they're supporting behind it. They shouldn't expect your money for nothing. So imagine this, and this is the same exact fucking situation. Marvel releases Infinity War, and we watch Infinity War, and then all of a sudden, Marvel says, you know what? That it was getting a little too dark because Thanos is going to come in and kill like 50% of the universe. We're not making that anymore. We're rebooting everything. We're going to reboot Iron Man again, and he's going to fight a different Whiplash. People will be like, what are you, fucking insane? That is exactly what WB is doing right now with Zack Snyder's Justice League. everyone that watches this movie, the damn audience rate is almost 100% on even on Rotten Tomatoes. They're watching the movie and they're like, "Wow, I can't wait to see the next one." W's, no. Let me tell you what we're doing. We're not going to make another one. We're rebooting Batman. We're rebooting Superman. All same characters you've seen in the past. Isn't that a great idea? Fuck no, it's not. You're bending over for the fucking minority of DC fans right now. Because we will never, as a DC fan, get another Darkseid saga, Steppenwolf, any of this. It's over. So don't even think that at some point DC is going to fucking make, in your lifetime, a Darkseid movie. It ain't happening. So you're going to have to go off of other villains. And they can't even be nowhere in the realm of Darkseid. Because they're not going to finish this saga. They're going to take the Flash and reboot everything. But that's my 2 cents on it, man. Zack Snyder's Justice League for me is 10 out of 10. This is going on my 7th time watching the movie. And I really don't do that. And it's not like I'm just watching it for the hell of it. It is actually a really good movie. And as many times as I watched Justice League and was so disappointed and laughed at it as a fucking dumpster fire piece of shit that it is, I watched this and I'm like, man, all those years of just watching that shit because I love these characters so much, and now I'm seeing it in the true form. That's why I've watched this as many times. Just in case I also delete the fucking HBO Max and they don't really go forward with this. I ain't fucking paying HBO Max, Disney Plus, Amazon, Netflix, fuck all that. I'm not doing it. So, and especially where the other ones at least care what customers or AKA fans think. The other ones, the Warner Brothers don't. Like, imagine, you were watching Game of Thrones or something and they just stopped it in season 1. I mean, that's literally what fucking... Would you continue paying for HBO if they said, you know what, we don't care about what you guys think, we're canceling this show, even though it's a high rating thing right now? So think about it in that aspect and just thinking there's a bunch of toxic fans. It's not. We don't want WW84 bullshit, and we want the direction that it's going in. I think it could really be, as a movie fan, it could be something incredible. And I think Snyder has it going in the right direction, just by 2 cents. Everyone take care. I know it's a long rant. I'm getting a little hoarse here, but I figure I'd just, off the top of my head, just go off on Warner Brothers for the shit that they just pulled.